just let to connect. And then I'm gonna go into Facebook. I'll let you know when we left. Well, let's put a little bit of lipstick.
I'll sip my coffee.
Okay, so I'm gonna click live now. Not now, just connecting. Go live and it's connecting. Live video starting. Okay. Hello, guys in Gut and Hormones. So today we have my dear friend, Aleksandra D, and she is with a background in psychology and she is transformation coach. Welcome, Aleksandra. How are you today?
Thanks, Ingrida. It's really nice to see you. It's been a while. I'm very well, thank you. Really excited about spending this time with you talking about transformational coaching and just human journey.
Yeah, Alessandra, could you tell my audience what is the transformational coach? What exactly that means? Because we have so many coaches, right? It's like,
True.
what is it? What do you guys do?
So I agree with you. There is really a big scope for coaching. There are so many different types of coaching around, and I think people are would be more familiar with like fitness coaches, right? Whom you would come and they will give you their knowledge and expertise and tell you what to do and kind of set up the directions for you, right? So this is more of a behavioral coaches who kind of help you to change your behavior in order to kind of to achieve the goal that you would like in fitness, for example, right? Transformational coaches, they look about at the deeper level of coaching. So there is the 3 level of change. As I've mentioned, there is a behavioral one where you change your behavior. For example, fitness, you exercise more, you improve your run technique or you improve your nutrition in order to achieve your goal. So this is the behavioral change, right? Like then you have a learning change. It's a second level, which goes a bit deeper, where you kind of experience a bit more holistic picture and learn new ways of doing things. For example, a fitness coach can also operate on that. It can correct your technique. It can educate you more about your body, right? That it's not just about the technique and the muscles. It's also about the nutrition and the vitamins and sleep. So this is a learning change, right? That's occur in human. Then there is a third level, which is the most holistic and the deeper one, which is a transformational change. And that's where we are talking about the beliefs and, how person sees the world, how the person perceives the world, and how he operates within it. And by changing these beliefs and changing this way of looking at things, the change occurs. So that's where transformational coaches kind of tend to operate. It doesn't mean they can't operate on the other 2 levels, right? But that's what we mean by the transformational coaching.
So, but the person has to go through all single level, like the first level, the learning level, and then or they can come to
No,
you.
not necessarily. It depends on what person wants to do. And as I said, a lot of people actually ask me what I can bring to coaching. Does it have to be something tangible? Like, I don't know, I wanna let's say be able to I don't know, I want to build a happy relationship right next year, or I have a presentation next week and I'm not sure I'm
Yeah.
ready, or I wanna like overcome, or I want to stop biting my nails, for example, right? The goals can be completely different.
Yeah.
And for each goal, there's going to be different levels of engagement. It depends on how, and the coach will follow what the client brings. If the person wants to be on the behavioral one and change some type of behavior, they
Yeah.
portray like biting the nails, for example. I want to change that. You can stay on the behavioral level and explore what happens like when you do it, what can you replace it with, or you can go on transformational level and think about the feelings connected, at what point this behavior occurs, Is it triggered by any thought? Is it triggered by any feeling? So that's completely depends on the client where where the client would like to go and stay. So it can be, you know, these levels are not sequential. They are depending on the readiness.
That's right, because everyone has the different experience, different psychology, and that like different thoughts and different mindset, different everything. And Alessandra, is there like a time frame if someone starts working with you, like say, okay, I'll put public speaking. I'm still afraid. I don't feel good, and I know I have to do it. But is there a time frame? How long it takes for me? So I should don't afraid. I just go and deliver.
Okay. So I think the first thing important to mention, right, is that as we talked about the fitness coach, right, the fitness coach and this relationship with the client, they are an expert, right? They have the knowledge, they have the expertise, and they guide you.
Yeah.
When we are in a transformation relationship, the coach there is not a subject matter expert. He cannot give you the time and the answer. It's there to support your journey. It's there. It holds the framework. It has the models, and he can offer tools, but the timeline is yours. So obviously, at the first session, we would explore what time frame like would you like.
Yeah.
You know, how long do you think, how long does it feel realistic for you? If you, for example, say, yeah, in a week, okay, my time frame is a month, let's say the month, I'm going to be a great public speaker. I go into the audience of 3,000 people and I naturally deliver, I know, something very personal and happy to be vulnerable in front of them.
That would be so.
Okay, that's the goal. Does it feel realistic?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. 3,000 audience, and then in a month time, for me, maybe not.
So we need to find in okay, if 3 months is important. For example, if you tell me in 3 months, I have this actually live, when I need to go live and be in front of people, then we need to understand, okay, what feel realistic for you in 3 months? You know, if that level doesn't feel realistic, where is what we can put as a goal, as an interim goal for you now? So 3 months, it feels achievable, because I think the most important thing is that you feel comfortable and you feel you're committing to something that feels real for you.
Absolutely, Alessandra. So once I say to myself, you know, Alessandra, to me, like 3 months feels realistic. And yeah, so let's do in 3 months. Is there a steps then that you will help me to take to become the best? I don't know, like I want to be the best public speaker. And I want to feel great on stage. I want to love people and give love and do a lot of nice things to people. So 3 months I give. What's the next step? Then I would, if
Well, I would definitely like ask you, you know, how important this is. We will probably the first session will go around these goals, because I want to understand, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for you to be a best speaker? Because, like, you know, I can show you a cup and I say, okay, this cup can mean for me something completely different than it means for you. So this process is about you. So with all the curiosity, I would like to understand, what does it mean for you? What does it mean to be a public speaker? What do you think is on the way for you to expressing yourself? Because I can already see through your body language how passionate you are about that, by describing that you want to give love to people. You know, there seems like there is a lot of energy. So what's stopping you?
and it is
What's this anxiety? Like, tell me more about it.
and Alessandra, is the fear is the number one killer that kills our dreams. It's fear that I might not be able good enough. I might forget my text and come there as a fake, but like, I don't remember anything. That's probably what is stopping me.
And that's a very interesting phrase you just mentioned, that I'm not good enough. And that's would probably be something we will be looking at and and exploring. And if you would wish to, we would go in, into a bit deeper and say, okay, where this fear, what does it mean? We can talk about, where it might be come from. But what I think is what I personally really, really like about coaching, because maybe we'll talk about it later. I've, I have a education in psychology. I have an education in psychotherapy and counseling. I've spent a lot of time in India looking for different tools, because I've always been super fascinated about human potential. And when I start studying psychology, I've seen it's very limited. It's trying to measure a person, but you really can't. So I've been on a search for various tools since I've been, I think, 16. And what I really, really like about coaching, the coaching for me is a very positive tool. It looks forward, it looks at your goals. We look at your goals and we find the way that is real right for you, because your path to your goal is going to be completely, even if it's the same goal, it's going to be completely different than from anybody else. When the therapy, it usually looks at the past, at the traumatic experiences and what have occurred, let's have a look. And it is, it has a place, especially when we're talking about somebody who is, clinically depressed, but I think for people who just want to improve their quality of life and just want to, have a better tools to achieve the goals, I think coaching is the best for me. And that's why I'm now so excited and fascinated going through the journey, because it really feels like it doesn't mean we can't look at certain events. We all have traumatic events, right, that happened and to all of us, and they shape us, shape our beliefs, but we would not dwell on that. So we would not, being very classic psychoanalysis, oh, my mother did not hug me, so, now I'm not very, emotionally expressive person. Coaching would recognize, okay, that's had an impact on you. What can we do to make sure it doesn't affect your life? And that for me is very constructive approach. So coming back to your potential, program that, fear of being not good enough, it's probably will have roots, right? Somewhere, maybe cultural, maybe family, so many options. But what can we do now to make sure that it doesn't affect you achieving your goals?
And Alessandra, is it important actually to understand the rules? Like, for example, why I feel not good enough. When I was a little, so we five in the family, and I'm the oldest one. So my mom gave me this responsibility to look after my siblings, right? And it wasn't much, but when you're kid, it's a lot. And the way the way I felt like, the cry, even to this day, if I'm on the plane and I hear the kid screaming, I understand this, maybe kid is in pain and all, it triggers me. The memories comes back. And if someone talks about, oh my gosh, my childhood was amazing, I had the most beautiful childhood, I was like, what are you talking about? I don't have any good memories about, well, I have good memories, but like most is putting responsibility, and this responsibility is like, maybe I'm not loved and maybe I'm not good. And this, I think that's my root. I'm afraid the stage, because this maybe it's linking. It's so, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like, is it important to kind of recognize as well in the coaching that this is my root? And look, I'm now adult. It shouldn't matter to me.
Absolutely. I would be interested to hear, during the session, how this shows up for you. Does it shows up only in public speaking or, somewhere else? Just because the more you understand how this affects your life, the easier for you to make a different choice.
Yeah, yeah. And, and it definitely, Alessandra, you're so right. It coming up not just in public speaking, but in other aspects in my life, especially in things that I have to do, like say in the business. And it has to be done because it is a business and it's not me. And then I kind of losing my confidence, like, in terms of managing finance, in terms of it does show up. I'm noticing it. So the first thing, I don't know if it's like to notice, I suppose, isn't it? Like, if you don't know, a lot of people don't know why they feel this way, because they don't know, like they can't
Yeah, no. Absolutely. And if people would think about it on a daily basis, our heads will explode. So
Mm,
that's where this, defense mechanisms and, and beliefs, are shaped from. They're protecting us. But
mm,
I think the more we kind of see it and the more we talk about this, the more awareness the person gains and easier it is to make small steps. You're not going
mm,
to get rid of it, in a days, you're not going to overcome it, but
mm,
it's quite useful to sit with that realization
mm,
and think, okay, what can I do right now? You know,
mm,
can I do anything right now, to step further? Can I choose something else? Can we? And that's, I think, when we together will identify actions that
mm,
would be help that you feel it will be helpful. So it's not me telling you, okay, now you're going and doing this five
mm,
times, and what feels right for you,
mm,
to kind of to do right now to move past that. And then I would ask, how would you keep yourself accountable? Because that's also part of the coaching. It's not just we have a conversation and what you're gonna do. Because if to achieve your goals, you need to do something to reach them. So that's also, I think, a great part of the coaching that helps to keep you accountable for what you committed.
mm. Yeah, absolutely. And can the person say, if the person doesn't have accountability and there's no support, can they, can you be the accountability partner?
I definitely can. If I notice, for example, that within 3 sessions we are identifying, the person identifying certain actions, and then it doesn't feel like it's progressing, I would just ask, do you think there is something preventing you? Is this really the actions that feel right? Or does it really the right goal you're working? Is the goal, there is a great model that I like, which called Smarter, which helps you to kind of, and I've just made a LinkedIn post about it, how I feel it's applicable to the project management and organizational change. But the great use of the model is it helps a person to identify if the goal is actually realistic, measurable, and relevant. Like one of the R's there is obviously abbreviation, but one of the R stands for relevant. Is it relevant now? And I have been working with one lady, and I have a permission to share that because obviously it's confidential, everything we work about, but I do have a permission. So she has a 2-year-old baby, and she really would like to lose weight, and become a bit more fitness, and that's what she really wants. And why coach here, right? A lot of people say, yeah, but why do you coach? Right. We all know that if you want to lose weight, you exercise more and eat less. We all know that. But not everybody does that, including
Absolutely.
myself
Oh,
from
no.
time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, like when we start looking at her with her, and the goal was really kind of realistic, exciting for her, So she really wanted that. But when we actually start identifying some actions and what she can do, how she can, start to make sure she's also comfortable on the journey and balancing obviously all the other commitments she has in her life, she was failing to kind of to reach the actions that she was identifying and feels like she was not progressing. She felt stuck. So then we start exploring a bit more. We actually came to the point that though the goal is really desirable, it's not really relevant to her right now because she has a small baby, who doesn't sleep well. So she's really exhausting. She's really, and just by understanding how many things she's jiggling right now, and how much energy she's using in her daily life, she actually realized that's true. I really want the goal, but right now it's not relevant to
Mhm.
that in that capacity that I want to. I cannot because it's just going to stress me, it's going to drain me. And that's why she was self-sabotaging, because she's just like, oh, I don't have time to do the actions, I'm a failure. And that's a lot of things would be triggered with that guilt in a lot of occasions. So then just revisiting that goal is saying, okay, this is not relevant right now. Let's have a look at
Yeah.
what it is right now, so you still feel like you're working toward it.
Mm,
And that's a very powerful tool. So again, if this accountability is not there to be a parent or a teacher saying, you did not do your homework. It's about understanding what is going on for you, what is going on for the client, that they they're not progressing toward the goal.
But it's so good, Alessandra, what you said, because as a females, we think, oh, after the baby, I have to have straight away back into the shape as I was, or even better. I have to do so many hats. Are we starting like failing because it's way too much? And sorry, the cat is scratching.
Oh yeah, that's
And we creating those thoughts, right? That I'm not good enough, that I'm not worthy, that I'm failure, that all that. And the emotions actually there as well as I am failure, because look, all other females there, whatever they are checking, they have
especially on social media. Everyone is perfect.
toxic. Yeah, because you can put a filter these days and put whatever you want, you look perfect, you know? And it's so good what you do, because you help this female to actually understand and feel good about it. She just had a baby, her baby is small, and her priorities are great. Without the coaching, we would be overwhelmed, right? We wouldn't see that. Well, what's my next step? Is that relevant?
It's so easy sometimes to get caught up in so many. We all are very busy juggling multiple things. Sometimes people, very few people even have an hour a week to think about themselves. How are they feeling? How are they doing actually? So I think to have this 1 hour a week or 1 hour even in 2 weeks that is about you, where you think and actually break down all things are happening and running in parallel in your mind, your brain, and just to kind of put it in a structure and reflect on it. I think just by itself is super, super helpful. I have some clients with whom sometimes we spend 20 minutes of the session in silence, and they say it's the best thing they actually do sometimes for themselves because of how busy they are. And I think coming to the topic of women, it's we can be the whole day here. I think we as women, operate under so much pressure from society, and there is so many expectations around us and from the work, from the family, from the society, and we feel we just have to. I'm really glad that the world now is like starting putting spotlights on this, but we are still so far away. And that's why like helping women in these important transitions, like having a baby or changing the job or getting married or getting divorced, is something I'm very passionate about as well. I think women need a lot of support to kind of find their true self in this world right
And
now.
did you find like are they okay like to actually go and get help, or do they feel like I can't just take time for myself, like it's my baby or whatever other priorities. They always, in my opinion, the females I work, they're not the priority right now, but everything. Do you find that the same, that they're not?
I do, yeah, and I do find that women can come to coaching or therapy or whatever feels more appropriate when they're in a kind of a really, let's say, dark place. Because you're right, there is an expectation of women to, be great at everything,
Mm,
and manage everything and take care of everybody. And a lot of times, um, women deprioritize themselves massively. And a lot of times I find that women come for some particular behavioral goal, like at work, or, I want to progress, or I want to, get this, I want to change my job to that. How do I do that? So it's kind of a very external request, right?
yeah.
Like, how do I achieve this? Or how but now when you start looking, that's where the transformation comes, is actually, but do you really want it? What's going on there for you? And then sometimes I see the requests change dramatically after 3 4 sessions.
Yeah,
That
because
it's no longer about job and about money, it's about me actually. Do I really? And as soon as the women start asking the question, is it about me? Do I want it? Does it feel right? A lot of things change.
Alexandra, your opinion, like so many females, including myself, operate constantly in this masculine energy. And this masculine energy, for me, I actually didn't know, but my acupuncturist did some things with those needles and said something like this. Said, tell me more. And then it made me think, because I'm this masculine energy, it exhausts me. I'm not in feminine at all. Do you like, can you touch a little bit on that?
Of course, I would say a lot of women don't even know what the feminine energy means just because the way they've been brought up. Our external world built on masculine energy, on achievement, on the goals, go get it, So therefore, a lot of women, they don't even understand, and including myself, I've been brought up in a very patriarchic environment, but in a very masculine way. So I'm actually personally on this journey of finding this, new ways of being and still achieving the results, but in a way where I don't lose energy. And an incredible concept that you might be interested, it calls the heroine's journey.
Oh, okay.
So the classic model is by, I think, Joseph Campbell, which calls hero's journey. So
Uh-huh.
he's done a massive study by analyzing even prior the internet, so the cultures where the cultures were a bit more separate, right? So he analyzed myths and legends of very, very different nations and very different cultures, and he came into conclusion that there is a similar pattern in all of these tales and folks and legend and myth, how they usually go, that there is a call for like a call for the hero. So there is a challenge, that there is a hero needed, and it resonates with just a human journey and how there is an answering the call, then there is you cross the bridge into unknown, so you get into your comfort zone, you fight villains, dragons,
Mm.
uh which kind of means like overcoming the challenges, right? Then you go into, then you then travel, kind of then goes your death, because you transformed right after that, you went through the journey, and then you're coming into back into familiar world, but with a different quality. So it's like a circle. It's quite interesting.
Mm.
I don't remember the name of the lady who actually took this further. And again, I've recently made a post on my Instagram as well about it. So the hero's journey is applicable to both genders, but she took it specifically for female. What does it mean to be what a female journey looks like? And what I was struck by is that the second step is rejecting the feminine energy and aligning with the masculine self. Is that, the way the feminine energy and the feminine ways are suppressed in our world, girls who just becoming aware of themselves think, okay, I don't want to be the infantile, typical woman who sits at home, and just cooks and cleans, where traditional patriarchic society stands. I want to live my dream life. And when she looks outside, she says, okay, to achieve the life I want, I have to be masculine, I have to be proactive, I have to be busy, I have to be effective, I have to be efficient. And she aligns with the way, and she goes fighting the dragons. She becoming this Amazon, who is, fights back, who protects her boundaries, protects her family. But then at a certain point, she realizes she does lose energy. That's not the way. And then her journey is actually finding, not even finding, coming back to feminine side, but creating her own understanding, not like our mothers were, but creating our own connection with the feminine. And so I found it amazing how, how how this model resonated with my journey, and Southern women, I guess, that in the early age, we're literally just been given only one path to achieve our goals. But there is a different way that it's not only make us constantly tired and overwhelmed, but actually enriches us with the energy that
And
makes us, even brighter and feel it. And that's what I'm exploring on my own personal journey right now.
this is amazing, Alessandra. So the feminine energy, it doesn't really mean you are with the kids cooking, cleaning. This is how I would think.
Yeah,
That I was like, I
agree.
don't want to be feminine, but I don't want to be anything like my mom, because my mom was cleaning, cooking, and looking after kids. And I was like, that was like, no, this, I want to be opposite my mom. So I just did it myself because this is how I associated feminine, and I went into this masculinity myself by pushing, 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 going for more. But really, Alessandra, you can have that feminine energy, and you can be amazing entrepreneur, amazing, boss, amazing, whatever you want to be with the feminine energy? Or is that not right? Is that not correct?
Yes, yes, absolutely. You can, by bringing the feminine like energy in your business and your work, it brings the creativity. So it
Mhm.
brings the better and more interesting alternative ways. And I, for example, also kind of looking at this, how to bring this feminine in the corporate world, because the corporate world is a very good example of this masculine driven patriarchy, this parent child relationship, that you have a boss, you have a leader. So that's what actually I am really, really interested about, because I agree with you. I think a lot of like our generation seen our mothers being feminine as being constantly at home, but constantly being tired as well, looking after kids, and so but there are other ways you can explore. The feminism is a feeling, is the approach, is how you
Mhm.
do things and how you create like what you want without like riding on the horse with a spear and shooting dragons around. So
Yeah.
that's, yeah, it's very different. It's a very different way of being, not doing things, but way of being.
So, do I get that right? So, when the feminine energy is coming out from each female, when we truly, truly love ourselves, if we truly love yourselves, I'm the most important person on this planet. If I'm not looking after myself, everyone else gonna suffer because I'm gonna show my emotions. I'm gonna show my true bitch. You know. But if I love myself, I'm able to build the boundaries and say no in a nice way. Would that be easy to do in the corporate setting? And is that the right way of like it comes with it comes with a love to yourself?
Yeah, and I think the first step would be exactly because everybody around, if you look at the like esoteric world, the complementary psychology world, everybody talks about love to yourself and love everybody around, which is a very generalistic, and I think it's very hard to love a person near you when I don't know that person has been bad, has been like nasty to you, or. So that's again, what does this mean? What love means for you? Love
Mm.
for yourself. How does it manifest?
Yeah. How does that manifest the love to myself? That's actually such a great question. Have to imagine like myself as I don't know, like a child or something, and I truly love myself and I want to protect that little me inside. And I want her to protect. Because if I think about me, I was like, I don't care about me. But if that's a small child in me, like me as a child, I don't know. This is what comes when you ask this question to me.
So I hear you saying that for you self-love, meaning protecting your inner child?
Yeah, it's strange the way it just came now. Protect, because I think there's a lot of things happening right now where I feel like I need to be protected, Alessandra.
And we are moving into coaching sessions right now. There is, yeah, I'm telling you, with this
Yourself.
small things or concept that we all heard about love, there is so much behind it. There's pain there as well, because as well, we've never been taught or explained what love means to us. It always feels like you need to love someone, but not yourself.
And how to be
There is always someone to love, your parents, your family, your friends, your neighbors. But what about me? How do I love myself? So that's a very fundamental question there as well. And that's also a transformative kind of coaching level.
And a lot of us understand, including myself, I don't know really what is the love, loving yourself. Like, what is it? Is this like when I put myself always first and I don't care about other people feeling? I'm not responsible the way you feel. If I say no, it's no and feel good about it. Would that be love? I
How
love it.
does it feel when
Yeah.
you say that?
Uh, oh no, just trying to figure out because I think I'm there myself that trying to understand what is the true love, loving yourself means, because it just, when you operating under such a high, a lot of things happening, and it's like I'll forget, you get lost and you forget what is the love, like what is love? Do I really love myself? And it's probably the answer would be no, not. How did you learn like to love yourself more? Is there was a journey into the way you learned to love yourself? Was there a journey that you had to go?
I think there is a journey for everyone, and it's endless journey because at different stages of your life can, um, love can manifest in a very different way. How I'm defining it at this stage, and again, I think it's such a fluid and personal, intimate concept and it evolves and it changes for me at this point of time. My
Mm.
self-love is being kind to myself.
That's beautiful. I look at Alessandra. That's what I have. Yeah, be kind.
Exactly. And I really always been fascinated by British culture, how kindness to people around to them is one of the core values.
Mm.
And kindness is not something I've been shown, and I've strongly internalized it. The way of treat myself, of being disciplined, and for me, being kind, and sometimes giving myself an extra couple of days, to complete something, or letting myself, I don't know, sometimes sleep an hour more when I feel tired, or letting myself not to perform 120%. It can mean so many things. And again, I think it's important for every person just to even define how it would manifest for me right now, even in the smallest thing, because when we talk about these global, goals, they feel so ungraspable, and this it feels so big that people usually say, okay, I don't know, this is too complex, like leave me alone with that, I'll go back to my life. But actually, by breaking down, you don't need to know the whole journey. You only need to know what's the steps now you can take.
Mm.
And if, for example, a woman feels, overwhelmed or something, okay, can I cook dinner, for example, not 5 evenings a week? Can I do it? Can I do it 4?
Mm.
It's these small things. And what is also, I think, great about coaching, that though the goal is important, it helps the client to enjoy the journey. And it also gives you the tools. Then when you have your next goals, you can already think, okay, actually, now I have the tools. So it becomes self-sufficient. So you don't have to go years to the coaching like you would used to do into classical therapy, like psychoanalysis. You go minimum 2 years before the therapist will tell you anything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a very dynamic, obviously you can use the different coaches for different goals, but it equips you with tools as well.
This
It
is,
gives you kind of understanding that small steps actually really matter and they bring you to the goal.
yeah. And most of us, that's probably what it needs, just to break those big things, what we have, into the small things and take maybe just one thing at a time. Be
Yeah,
kind to yourself.
exactly. It's much more simpler than we think. And what always fascinates me, that people do know what to do.
Mm.
Everybody, it's like I've always been a massive fan of humanistic approach of Carl Rogers. He was at that time, I know now it sounds like a mainstream, but in 60s, he was a revolutionary when that he actually said the patient is not sick. He knows what he need to do. He has a potential to realize, himself, and they're not, people are not sick. They just need to give the right space to flourish and grow, and that's what I come around the sessions. People know what they need. They just need space, time, and the right questions
Oh,
to identify. And seeing people like, oh my God, this is so simple, how I never thought about it before. I was like, well,
and creating that space for them, just being able to listen to them, then where they can actually feel, oh, someone is listening to me. So maybe, yeah, I am important.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a small step.
And as I said, not many people have in life a space where it's about them. The person is listening and genuinely interested, curious about what's going on for them. Because a lot of our everyday conversation, it's like a ping pong, like people listen to respond. And, so just by breaking this dynamic and giving a person this, space to talk or not to talk, it's very powerful.
Yeah, so good. And Alessandra, could you tell a little bit more about your work and how people can find you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Um, So as I said, I've been on a search for quite a long time. So you know, through the different techniques and you know, and learning kind of from the best, like you and me met at Tony Robbins workshop and I think like that's where I start thinking about coaching. I've never kind of really thought about it seriously because I looked at Tony and I was like, oh my God, the way he brings together such polar like aspects of our life, from business strategies to meditation and to, you know, almost a prayer. It's amazing, you know. Wow, it's so great. He actually through coaching joins all the tools together and I was like, I want that. So yeah, so after that I've looked at various schools of coaching and I've identified the one that resonated with me more, which is a very holistic, very kind of transformative, as I said, because I really kind of enjoy looking at the depth of human beings, human potential. So I'm going through the course right now. I'm still kind of working toward my qualifications. So therefore, at the moment, all my sessions I do, they are free of charge, you know, as I'm training.
Wow.
Yes, I'm kind of I'm really like, and though I have the clients already, I still interested to kind of to get more clients to spend some time and hopefully help on the journey and also find like my style and, you know, find establish myself more. So therefore, if anybody is interested to kind of embark on the journey and look at their goals and see what they can achieve within that space, welcome. I think the only requirement from me is you need to commit to minimum 5 sessions, because in order to get some progress, you need some time. It's one session, you know, your world is not going to change. We might build toward that session, and then that one session, you're like, oh my God, but it takes time, you know, you can't give a birth to baby, you know, in a day, right? So yeah, and all those sessions are going to be free, and you also need to be comfortable with the sessions to be recorded because obviously I'm still training and they might be required for supervision.
And
So
oh,
yeah.
guys, did you hear that? Alessandra offering free sessions if you book it now. So Alessandra, would you share the link or how they can book you? How can they get in touch?
Absolutely. I operate mostly through my Instagram. There is a coaching Instagram profile, which is also it's not I'm not super active there, so there's not a million posts. I've posted some reels there about again what coaching is, what to expect, so it might be helpful for people. And I think I share things as they resonate. But people can contact me through that, and you know, if they want to book an intro session as well, where we can just chat like me and you, and they can tell me more about themselves, and they can ask me questions, you know, and then if they decide to go, I will send them the calendar where they can book. And again, all 5 sessions are free of charge.
Wow, it's amazing. I mean, Alessandra, it's amazing work that you do. This is like you won't get anywhere. Like one session, yes, free, but five.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
huge.
I mean, it's because at the I'm really, I feel I have a lot of tools and I have a lot of knowledge to kind of share, and um, I really want to, you know, more and more people to get value out of this, you know, because I think in our society there is still kind of a lot of stigma about psychology, you know, and coaching especially, like, oh, everybody can be a coach, but it actually can be so powerful and transformative. There's so many tools available, and you know, when you're using coaching, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Like, there is a quote by one of the coaches: the coach is actually for, you know, for happy, for healthy people who just want a better quality of life. So for me, that's just amazing. And I really would like to show more people what's available, you know?
And that this is amazing. So thank you so much for such a beautiful gift to my audience, guys. Is there a limit that because it might be like a lot of flood coming towards? Do you have a limit?
Yeah, it's I can probably take 3, 4 people
Guys,
maximum because
whatever,
yeah,
3, 4 people. I'm gonna put the contact details after we finish with this interview. Make sure you contact Alessandra. Alessandra, you're on the Facebook as well, right? So I can
yeah, yeah, definitely.
tag you so that people can click on your profile and message you through the Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And so 3 people. So whoever first, go to Alessandra, book her.
First
And
come, first served.
Yeah, change your life. She's amazing. She's gonna transform your life. She's transformative coach.
I
Alessandra,
won't. They will, but with my help.
with your help, because that's what people need, a guidance, a help to cross that bridge, right? You will help
Exactly.
to cross where they are right now into this amazing potential.
Yeah, into unknown through the dragons, but to the treasure chest.
This is beautiful, Alexandra. Any final words that you want to share with my audience?
Thank you very much for this amazing opportunity, Ingrida. I've really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really happy we've touched also the topic about women and the journeys that women are going through right now. And I really feel like we women should support each other more, because no one else will show us the right way for us apart from ourselves.
Yes,
So thank you very much. I really had a great time.
Alexandra, thank you so much. That was such a pleasure to talk to you. And so from my bottom of my heart, just huge thanks. And okay, guys, so thank you for watching. And yeah, see you next time.
See you.
I think I finished Alessandra.
Yep.
And
Yep. I'm here.
I think
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you, Ingrida. Really. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Alessandra, can I first check on the face? I'm not comfortable with the technology. Like, did I really end it? Or is it still on?
No, I think you're still recording.
No, I'm recording this thing. Yeah, here, yeah.